In the heart of the city, where the twilight sky was perpetually painted in hues of ashen grey and the buildings stood like towering monoliths against the fading sunlight, life had once thrived. The city was a bustling metropolis, its streets filled with the laughter of children, the aroma of street vendors' delicacies, and the hum of a vibrant, diverse populace. But beneath the surface of normalcy, there lingered an inexplicable unease, an eerie sensation that crawled up the spines of those who dared to venture into the obscure alleys and forgotten corners. Amidst the backdrop of this seemingly ordinary city, an unspeakable terror had emerged. The Lovecraftian creature, nameless and formless, had infiltrated the city's very essence. Its arrival was subtle, imperceptible to all but the most sensitive souls who felt the shifting of the cosmic fabric. It had slithered through the cracks in reality, its insidious presence twisting the minds of the city's inhabitants like clay in the hands of a malevolent sculptor. Its purpose was as sinister as it was inscrutable. The creature feasted on the emotions and sins of humanity, drawing sustenance from the depths of despair and the heights of fear. It spread its influence like a plague, infecting the minds of the people with thoughts that were not their own. Paranoia blossomed like poisonous flowers, and distrust festered among neighbors and friends. The once vibrant city became a breeding ground for madness, a dark playground for the eldritch horror that now resided within its walls. At night, when the moon hung low in the sky and the stars were obscured by a suffocating blanket of fog, the creature slithered through the city's labyrinthine alleys. Its tendrils, like ethereal serpents, snaked through the cracks in the cobblestone streets, reaching out to caress the sleeping minds of the unsuspecting. Dreams turned into nightmares, and sleep became a realm of torment, where the boundaries between reality and delusion blurred into nothingness. In the light of day, the city's architecture bore witness to the horror that dwelled beneath the surface. Unbeknownst to the citizens, the creature's sinewy appendages, translucent and pulsating with an otherworldly glow, extended from the walls of buildings. They coiled around the foundations, seeping into the very stones and mortar, anchoring the eldritch entity to the material world. Yet, to the naked eye, these tendrils were invisible, hidden by a veil of supernatural obfuscation. The city's descent into madness was marked by a series of gruesome deaths, each one more horrifying than the last. People were found mutilated, their bodies contorted into grotesque shapes that defied the laws of anatomy. Blood adorned the walls of apartments, forming cryptic patterns that hinted at the unspeakable horror that had transpired within. The city's once cheerful streets were now haunted by the echoes of agony, and the air was heavy with the stench of fear. Despite the mounting terror, the city's inhabitants remained oblivious to the true source of their nightmares. Their minds had been ensnared by the eldritch creature's manipulative tendrils, rendering them blind to the supernatural menace that lurked just beyond their perception. The city had become a breeding ground for the eldritch horror, a feeding frenzy of emotions and sins that sustained the creature's insatiable appetite. And so, the city stood on the precipice of oblivion, its fate hanging in the balance. Unbeknownst to its inhabitants, a small group of individuals had begun to sense the shifting currents of the cosmic tide. These unlikely heroes, bound by fate and the shared burden of knowledge, embarked on a perilous journey to uncover the truth behind the city's descent into madness. Armed with ancient tomes and artifacts imbued with eldritch power, the group delved into the city's dark underbelly, determined to confront the Lovecraftian horror that had ensnared their home. Their path was fraught with danger, as the creature sensed their presence and sought to extinguish the flickering light of hope that dared to challenge its dominion. In the catacombs beneath the city, where the air was thick with the scent of decay and the walls were adorned with the bones of forgotten souls, the final battle took place. The heroes stood resolute, their weapons glinting in the dim light of ancient torches, as the eldritch horror emerged from the shadows, its form twisting and contorting in ways that defied mortal comprehension. With a battle cry that resonated with the echoes of ages long past, the heroes confronted the creature, their blows guided by the spirits of ancient warriors and cosmic entities. The clash was cataclysmic, a dance of steel and shadow, as the heroes fought to banish the Lovecraftian horror back to the depths from whence it came. In a burst of blinding light, fueled by the sheer willpower of those who refused to succumb to despair, the eldritch creature let out a deafening scream. Its form unraveled like a tenebrous tapestry, dissipating into the ether. The city trembled, as if sighing in relief, as the supernatural influence that had gripped it for so long dissipated like morning mist beneath the sun's rays. The heroes, weary and battered, emerged from the catacombs as saviors of their city. The tendrils that had bound the eldritch horror to the material world lay severed, their malevolent power dissipating into the void. The city's inhabitants, freed from the creature's influence, slowly began to regain their sanity, their minds no longer clouded by the eldritch fog that had shrouded their thoughts. In the aftermath of the battle, the city bore the scars of its ordeal. Buildings stood in solemn silence, their walls marked by the remnants of the eldritch creature's influence. Yet, amidst the destruction, there was a glimmer of hope. The people, once divided by fear and suspicion, came together to rebuild their home. The experience had forged a bond among them, a shared understanding of the fragility of reality, and the strength that could be found in unity. The heroes, now hailed as saviors and protectors, remained vigilant. They knew that the cosmic horrors that lurked in the depths of the universe were not easily vanquished. The Lovecraftian horror had been just one of many, a glimpse into the incomprehensible darkness that lay beyond the veil of reality. And so, the city stood as a testament to the resilience of humanity, a beacon of hope in a world threatened by the unknown. The tale of the city's ordeal spread far and wide, a cautionary legend whispered in the dark corners of the world. The eldritch horror had been defeated, but the guardians of the city remained ever watchful, their eyes turned toward the cosmic abyss, ready to face whatever unspeakable horrors might come next.